So yun, sabi natin kanina, unless she has acted with discernment, in which case such child shall be subjected to the appropriate diversion proceedings. So makikita niyo yung diversion proceedings, sinabi ko sa inyo dati sa exam din, na kapag ang bata ay nag-undergo ng diversion proceedings, so until such time na ma-reach niya yung edad 18 above, so doon na niya i-face kung ano man yung consequences ng kanyang ginawa. So, mayroon tayong sinasabing diversion level at the police or the barangay level, o marami diyan na tackle na natin yan. So, dapat alamin natin yan para sa board exam is pumasa tayo. What is an diversion? So, alam na natin yan, it is an alternative to formal proceedings na hindi ka ang batang gumawa ng kasalanan o criminal na bata ay hindi po pwedeng ilagay sa isang prison facilities. So, ito, alam na natin ito. Na-discuss na ko na sa inyo to. So, ang sa akin lang is gusto ko lang sa inyong ipaintindi ulit at saka gusto kong magkaroon kayo ng idea kung paano i-handle ang batang CICL. Okay. Ito, na-discuss din natin. So, ang tanong dito, what if parents of victims wants to pursue the case against CICL 15 below? So, paano daw kapag ang magulang ng isang biktima, for example, yung magulang nung namatay, biktima ng isang CICL, which is 15 below. So, ang mangyari dito is, police should explain to the victim and family the provisions of the law. So, of course, kapag ikaw isang police, papaintindi mo doon sa pamilya ng biktima kung ano yung nakasaad sa batas na kapag 15 below, hindi siya dapat subject for criminal proceedings. The police should seek advice from the office of the prosecutor or the social worker in explaining to the aggrieved party that the CICL is exempt from criminal liability. Bakit? Dahil may tendency na kapag hindi mo pinaintindi na mararamdaman ng pamilya ng biktima na sila ay naargabyado. For example, sabihin na ang batas ay mayroong kinikilingan. For example, yung police na may hawak sa kaso na masabi ng magulang ng argabyado, for example, the victim, masabi nila na sila ay inechapwera o hindi binibigyan ng pansin ng gobyerno, for example. So, kinakailangan ipaintindi with the help of the prosecutor para malaman. Of course, meron ito pagpupulong. What if the CICL committed the offense in the company of adult? So, sabi ko rin sa inyo dati na kapag ang isang CICL ay gumawa ng offense na kasama ang isang na matanda, of course, so ang mangyayari dito is the CICL should be attended to by the WCPD for proper intervention. So ang WCPD is Women and Children's Protection Desk. So ang mangyayari dito is ang intervention na mangyayari is aalagaan o titingnan ng isang WCPD. Okay, the adult offenders shall be referred to the regular investigators. Of course, magkaiba ang kanilang kakaharaping kaso. For example, if the adult offenders are the parents of the child, the officer should file a separate case for violation of RA 7610 against the parents. So, mangyayari nito, kung ano ang nakomit ng isang adult doon sa criminal offense na ginawa niya, so mayroon pang dagdag na kaso na RA 7610 in violation dahil anak niya yung pinasama niya o sinamahan niya sa paggawa ng krimen, dahil bilang magulang ang kinikilala tayo ng batas. For example, ako bilang tatay, kinikilala ko ng batas na alagaan ko ang moral welfare, lahat ng karapatan ng bata is alagaan ko. So kapag inudyok ko siyang gumawa ng krimen, so mayroon kang kaakibat na kaso laban sa iyo. Okay. Initial contact with the child. So ang sinasabi dito sa initial contact with the child refers to the apprehension or taking into custody of a CICL by law enforcer or private citizen. So ito, dapat nyo alamin ang definition para sa board exam is malaman natin. So apprehension and investigation, nakita na natin yan. So determine age of child, respect rights of CICL, of course, avoid displaying firearms, o yung sabi ko sa inyo dati. So these are the rules and protocols to be done when the process of the apprehension and investigation of the CICL. So, ano ang mga importanteng dapat nating gawin o malaman kung bakit pa kailangan ang interview sa CICL? Because it is very important part of initial investigation. Of course, kinakailangan natin alaman yung kanyang buhay, ilang taon na siya, bakit niya nagawa yun. It is when Leo takes the statement of the child. So, ang ibig sabihin ng Leo is law enforcement, yung sinasabi natin na law enforcement officer. Okay. To carry out the objective of initial investigation, which is to determine where the case of the child should be referred to RA 9344. Of course, para ma-determine natin na ang dapat ikaso sa bata is 9344, makita natin kung mayroon ba siyang criminal liability or civil liability. Who conducts interview? Sino yung magkakandak ng interview? Of course, the law enforcement officer, specifically from the Women and Children Protection Desk. Okay. Or in Leo's absence, a qualified investigator trained in children's cases. So, makikita niyo rito na ang bata ay hindi po pwedeng hawakan ng isang regular investigator. So, mayroon tayong sinasabing WCPD na hawak sa kanyang kaso. Why them? Bakit? Because they, the WCPD, should operate as a separate functional unit within the police station and treat children in a protective way. Of course, kinakailangan natin i-treat yung isang biktima, for example, or yung isang suspect na minor de edad sa mahusto at maayos na pamamaraan dahil inaalaga natin ang karapatan ng kabataan. Okay, responsible adults should be present. Okay, of course, child's counsel of choice or if non-PAW lawyer, of course, nandun sa karapatan ng ninuman. Child's parents, guardian, or nearest relative. Okay, LSWD. If 2 or 3 is absent sa board exam, lumalabas ito. Of course, kapag tatanong halimbawa, in time of apprehension and investigation or interview, if child's parents, guardian, or nearest relative or LSWD is absent, who among the following can be a representative or can be substitute? Sino-sino? For example, yun ang tanong, alamin niyo na. So, absent, pwede ang NGO representative, faith-based organization, tapos, or BCPC member. Ang BCPC is, search nyo yan para malaman nyo malawak ang discussion ng BCPC member. Okay. Responsible adults should be present because they ensure and confirm the rights of the child are protected. Of course, kinakailangan natin malaman na baka tinatakot mo na yun, kaya nasabi niya yun. Okay, police are often handicapped in their investigation of juvenile cases due to the absence of the parent or guardian, of course. So, minsan kasi yung mga bata is nakahandcuff pa. So, kinakailangan natin silang bigyan ng protection. Of course, some responsible adults can assist in tracing parents and producing them at the police station. They can confirm that no form of abuse, torture, or ill treatment were committed. Of course, kinakailangan nilang i-maintain, alagaan yung karapatan ng kanilang mga anak, for example, or relative na CICL. Their presence can promote diversion of child from the criminal justice system at a very early stage. Of course, so siyempre, kapag present sila, so kapag may pangangailangan ng bata, pwede makausap ng law enforcer o kaya ng DSWD. So, madali na lamang nating bibigyang toong pansin yung case ng isang CICL. The child must admit their guilt in the presence of a responsible adult. Of course, hindi po pwede na hindi kasali yung relative niya kasi nga baka siya ay tinutorture para umamin sa isang krimen. A statement made to the police by a child is not admissible as evidence in court unless the responsible adults were present when the statements was made. So that parating itong tandaan na hindi po pwede sa loob ng loob ng korte maging admissible ang isang statement ng isang CICL or ng child hanggat walang presence ng adult. Responsible adults have the role to protect children from their own maturity, not just police impropriety. Of course, hindi lang nandun ka dahil baka anong gawin ng police sa bata o sa kamag-anak mo na child o offender. So, para malaman na matiyak na ang bata ba ay nagsisinungaling o ito ba ay gumagawa ng kwento. Okay. Pre-interview responsibility. Okay. Meron tayong pre-interview responsibilities. Kung mapapansin nyo, kinakailangan natin i-tackle to para malaman natin lahat kung ano-ano yung mga proper procedure, proper protocols, guidelines na gagawin ng isang police officer o hindi man ng isang citizens sa isang child in conflict with law.